Welcome to the Next Level Podcast with Brian Daniels. Ooh, boom shakalaka.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another new episode of the Next Level Podcast. My name is Brian Daniels. I am your host. And thanks to the amazing Tim Kitzrow for the intro, the guy that does the voice of like NFL Blitz, NBA Jam, MLB Slugfest, NHL Hits. This guy is all over the place.
Yeah.
And the reason why I bring that up, not just because he did an amazing job doing the intro to our show, but we're talking about old games today.
Yes.
And I am joined by my podcast tag team partner, Josh Thunder Shaver here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about in this episode 119, where we're going to just kind of talk about games, old games that we just kind of have, keep going back to that remind us why we love video games, right? Or what that remind us that gaming isn't so bad. Because lately, Josh, it's kind of felt like the industry has been kind of bad.
Yeah.
We've had some there's been some troubling times in the video game industry, Microsoft firing 9,000 people.
Mm.
They're I don't know what the hell they're doing. And then you've got, shit's going on with like Sony and the Destiny game, and they can't seem to put together something of their own because they had that really awful Concord game last year. And then Nintendo's out here. Nintendo. Oh yeah, and that was a big hit. That was a big bomb for them. And then Nintendo's just out here being greedy as fuck and trying to squeeze as much money as possible. But we're gonna talk about it about the time when games didn't feel like that so much.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about and we're gonna talk about how much these games mean to us.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh, I'm just going to let you rip right into it because I know right now this is kind of what inspired this episode because we haven't, we've done almost 120 episodes of this show.
Yes.
I can't recall, and sometimes when you do this many episodes of a show, it can get kind of tough to figure out what new to talk about, right? So
yeah,
I don't think that this is a topic we've necessarily explored. I know we have done episodes about like the decades, like rolled through like the 70s, and we brought up games from those eras, or we've talked about the anniversary of such and such a game. We went to like Mario and things. But Josh said he was playing a specific game
specifically,
and that was the inspiration for this episode. So, Josh, what is the game that you've been hooked onto that's from your past that you've been kind of rediscovering again?
Ever since I first got my hand on it, I have been continuously multi-platformingly playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the first one. I just cannot fucking put this game down. I got it originally back in high school for the original Xbox because, yes, I own the original Xbox. I don't know if I've admitted that before on any of the previous 118 episodes. But that was one of the games that I exclusively played on Xbox because it was only on Xbox.
Yeah.
That's right. I had to think about that for a second. But yeah, I had that game on the Xbox. It was amazing. I want to say I did like 4 or 5 different playthroughs just in high school. And then I got to college and I remember myself and my roommate, we were just like, yeah, let's play more fucking KOTOR. Neither of us graduated. He ended up going into the Marines, and then I ended up just getting the job that the degree would have given me. So I was like, I am not a role model. Don't anyone listen to that decide that's what you want to do. But but it was one of those things where that game just kind of it didn't end there because I didn't have that Xbox anymore. But all of a sudden, for a brief period of time, Amazon had a phone gaming thing. And as long as you were one of the early day Prime members, it was actually free is what they would call the stuff.
Right.
And you remember actually free? I
actually
hated that
free.
Phrasing.
Oh, yeah.
I hated that phrasing, but I played KOTOR on my phone like a lot. I think I killed 2 different phones playing it. And it's not on my current phone just because I shoot so much video. I need all that room and space for video.
For
But
sure. For sure.
currently, right now, and
Yes. Right now.
as as we are recording this episode, because there's been times since the phone times too, I've played it. But currently, right now, I'm sitting in my office on my TV that I play my games on, which is usually my PlayStation 5. I've got my Nintendo Switch docked, and on
Yes.
the TV is the pause screen of the Switch version of Knights of the Old Republic,
Fuck
which
yeah,
is
dude.
great. It's not really, I don't know, it's hard to explain what this is because it's not a remaster or a remake or anything. It's the exact same game with the same fucked up bugs and all,
Right.
but it's just in the resolution that I can play it on this TV because it goes through the Switch and whatnot, which I think is
Hmm.
brilliant. Now I know that they were going to make a full remake not too long ago, and it just got canned. And I was one of the many that was very upset by this because a lot of people were really looking for a beautifully remastered Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. The
Right.
storyline is great. The characters are great. The I don't care what's going on. I'm just going to fuck around and play this game factor of the game.
Yeah.
Very high. There's a card game within universe, and I have my brother was making fun of me. My actual save file is like 4 or 5 hours the other day when he came over when I just started. That is my actual playthrough save file. I have one separate 189-hour and 195-hour save files that is just me sitting in the cantina on Terrace playing
Yeah.
Kozik with the guys, just gambling money back and forth because I like playing it. Um, he goes, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I've got a whole lot of credits." And it's one of the guys is meant specifically to win and cheat, and you just kind of got to lose your money there, and it's like, whatever. So it's not like I'm game rich or anything, but I've just been playing
Yeah.
the game for a long time, just gambling. Uh, now I'm
That's
finally, into the game and playing other parts, but man, it's the fact that they created the side game that's worth saving. You can go play that card game on other planets, but I wasn't ready
right.
to yet, you know. Um, so yeah, the first one I wanted to bring up was Knights of the Republic. Did you ever play it, Brian?
Oh, did I?
Did I?
Bro, I own a physical copy of the two games on my shelf right now.
Nice.
So yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, you better believe I've played that game.
Oh yeah.
Those games, man, ah, they're just so good. Like, for me, the games, those games are a time in BioWare's life, and we're going to talk about another series by them
Yeah.
that is also really, really is fucking great too that they put out. But the fact that BioWare took Star Wars and made it into an RPG with it, this because this is the first time that happened, right? Like we never had
Yes.
a
There had been some
an
pretty
actual
half-assed Star
role
Wars games
playing Star
before that.
Wars
Yeah.
game. And for me to be able to play something like that, because Star Wars in and of itself is just crazy, right?
Well,
Like,
it's weird that
you
there's
know,
this whole franchise stuck in one era of time, and then all of a sudden these two games come out and rock the fan base to its core, and it's like, yo, let's get some more of that. Anyone?
yeah, I mean, for me, it's just that the Star Wars is the perfect setting for a role playing game.
Yeah.
And BioWare at the time was this company who hadn't really done a whole lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And this was their first big venture, and their first big hit was Coachman.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just this whole entire like I remember just buying this game when it came out. I was like, oh, I can't wait to like go the path of becoming a Jedi. Because this
Oh
game takes
yeah.
place so far in the past of like Star Wars. Like
Mhm.
we're talking like thousands of years before like the movies even take place.
It was before the
Yeah.
Sith code of there can only be
Yeah.
two. So the
Hmm.
other path
Hmm.
was you could legitimately be a
Yeah.
Sith and a badass Sith at that.
Right. Right. And this whole game where you're playing as you end up finding out, some things about your character.
Hmm.
And it's this big, huge reveal. You're like, whoa! Like I remember just being like, whoa, no way, that's pretty sick. Um,
Gnarly.
the characters were great. Like Bastila, she's like your main like Force user until you can end up being a Jedi or Sith or whatever.
Hmm.
She's fantastic. Um, just the entire game itself. I mean, all these mechanics. That was my go-to role-playing game for a long time. And the fact that you're going back to it now, just,
I love this game.
years later, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of goes to show just how well that game stands up
Oh
even
yeah.
now. And I'll tell you guys this, there is a remake of that game coming. I don't know if it's still being made. I had
They
heard they
canceled
were
it.
making one. They canceled it. That's what I thought.
That's what I was saying. They
Of course they
canceled it.
did.
Everyone's upset. Yeah.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
So, of course they did. So, uh, if you have not played or had the pleasure of experiencing this game, you
Buy it on
need
the
to go
Switch.
play it.
Mhm.
It's amazing. Yeah, get it on the Switch.
Yep.
Or just you can if you have an Xbox Series X or S, you can go and pop in your disc and play it
Oh
that
no
way.
way. That works with the original Xbox games.
Yeah,
Gnarly.
I put it in there and it'll let you play it.
Very cool. Very
Mhm.
cool.
And then the second game was okay. It was kind of
Yeah.
forgettable. I didn't really care for the second game.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel the same way. It's like, the first one
yeah,
is,
right, yeah, but the first game is a banger. It's an absolute banger of
it's
a.
a fucking banger of a game.
It's so fucking good. Yeah, it's so
Like
fucking
to the
good.
point where I still feel strongly about characters. I'm playing through the first time. I'm like, Karth, shut the fuck up so I can get past this part and never use you again. You know.
Right. Yeah,
Um.
absolute banger of a game.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I mean, what made you decide to pick it back up? Like you just hadn't played it in a long time. Was you
I
like,
am fucking around with the CandyCon controller that the GameStop offers.
"Oh, I have
They
one of
had
those?
some really good deals, and I picked up some face plates, and they had the green base controller, and the face plates were 3 for $20 on sale. So I got the Ninja Turtle ones, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is gonna look dope." And yeah, no, it does. I'll have to send you a picture, or maybe we can put it on our Facebook page. But yeah, I got this green Raphael CandyCon controller, and I wanted to play something. I was looking at all my games, and it's like, man, I was the last game that I had played on my Switch was Super Mario RPG, and I
Oh,
really do need to pick that up and play through it. But fuck, I love KOTOR. Um, and I was looking at my other games, and and that's something else that I'll talk about on this, because most of the games on this list I am available to play again. Or it's not really a list, but I have a list. It's
yeah.
are available to play through the Switch, and that's what I'm playing through. But that's not all the games I wanted to talk about for sure. Um,
Right.
it's I feel like I will always love my Nintendo Switch because it is my retro gaming console, if you will.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. But
Um,
what about you? What is your favorite path to play Jedi or Sith? Did you fuck around with the Sith?
I fucked around with Sith. I
Yeah, I
I
fucked around.
tend to do all the good choices first in my first playthrough.
Yeah,
You know,
that's actually what I'm doing right now.
because I
Yeah.
feel like sometimes because I feel like sometimes uh the path the canon story is always the good path, right?
Yeah.
Um, but for me, it's I think I did fuck around with the Sith part.
It's fun. The
You know what I
powers are
mean?
different. It's cool. You can like whirlwind people around, and eventually you get a power that's just death, and you can just about the Kadavra people and shit. It's pretty cool. Um, which is pretty cool. But yeah,
Um,
but yeah, we can
but
we can we can definitely move on if there's nothing else to say about how much we love
no,
KOTOR.
it's good. It's good. I love it. That's a really great way to start off this episode because
Yeah,
it is one of those games that I feel aged really well, and it's still
yeah,
a game that you can play, and it's not a very difficult game. I mean, it has difficult settings, but like you know,
yeah,
I think it's one of those that will stand the test of time because,
yeah.
and it makes me really sad too. Actually, bring this up and we'll move on. is no one has done a thing like that since, right?
No,
For Star Wars.
nothing.
And I'm just thinking
It's
like,
it's still fucking set in
why?
the Skywalker era.
Yeah, and I'm just like, why has nobody? Because all the Star Wars games that have came out since have all been like action adventure like games.
Yeah.
Outside of the Star Wars Jedi Survivor and the other one, did you play those
No.
with Cal as the main character? Um,
As as
those
uh
are more.
as
Those are more like,
Jerome from Gotham.
yeah, those are more like I guess kind of Dark Souls in a way.
Mhm.
They have some RPG elements, but like I'm talking like specific. It has a karma system, like a good and evil,
Mhm.
and all the decisions you make like really change the story. They have not done that with Star Wars, and I really wish that somebody would do this. So whoever's out there listening, you have the opportunity to put something in somebody's ear. Give us another. It doesn't even have to be like we don't even have to go back to like the Kotar shit. Do
Yeah.
something role playing game that has decisions and shit that impact the story multiple ways. Do that. Let's do that. You know what I mean? Um, you know what, dude? I'm gonna throw it back. We're gonna throw it back really old school.
Throw it
Um,
back.
there is a game that I that always captivates me and it always makes me go back to it.
Yeah.
Um, it's one of my favorite games that I can't get enough of. And it's a game that I'm actually really, really particularly good at.
Okay.
It's an arcade game. It's Galaga.
Galaga. Fuck yeah, dude. You
Um,
do love Galaga. That
I
is that
do.
is something I know well. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, what's great about this game, it was actually the very first arcade game I ever played. Um,
Okay.
so this, I'll tell you the story. So when we were growing up, there was a place that was kind of like a laundry and tan connection type place,
Okay.
you know, and we would do our laundry there sometimes, and I would always hear this like the sound, right? The
Mhm.
do, that kind of like Galaga
Yeah.
shit. And I never knew what that was. And so like I went to the machine. I think it was probably like in I don't know, 6 or 7 or some shit.
Yeah.
My mom was like, "Do you want to play that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she put a quarter in, and I had to have one of those little things you stand on to play because I was so short.
Hmm.
And that was the first arcade game I ever played. Was that one?
Hell yeah,
And I think
dude.
they had it at Showbiz too, which is Chuck E. Cheese to those of you who don't know what that is.
Charles
But
Showbiz Cheese.
Charles Charles E. Cheese.
Yeah. Charles
Um,
Entertainment Cheese. That's right.
right, Charles Entertainment Cheese. So anyway, uh, I played that and I just had so much fun, and that game has just stuck with me. And that is a game that if I'm at an arcade, I go to. I think that's the only old game that's an arcade game that I have on multiple devices. I have it on my phone. I have it on my
Okay.
laptop. I have it on the Switch. I have it on the Xbox. I don't think I have it on PlayStation, but I have it like everywhere. And
It's just on everything.
what's fun is I am a top 20 player in the world on the game.
Okay.
Um, and I've had the ability to meet like several top players. A few of my friends that I know through the arcade scene, Jordan Dorrington and Armando Gonzalez. They're both two top players. I don't remember which one right now. Of the two of them, it kind of goes back and forth. Is currently the number one. They have the record for Galaga,
Hmm.
and it's a tough game. Like it's one of those where there are patterns and stuff. I've won a Galaga tournament. I won the Louisville Arcade Expo Galaga tournament in 2020. Um, which God, that's been 5 years now. Jesus Christ, it's like it's been that long.
Wow.
Uh, but but I won that. That was fun, and it's a game I'll never stop playing. Like I'll
Yeah.
pick it up from time to time. it's installed on my Xbox, and sometimes I'll just go, all right, and
Ready
it's
to
one of
play
those
some
games where
code.
I kind of keep up with to make sure that I'm still good at it, you know.
Yeah.
But I love going to arcades and just like putting a new score. Like we went to PopCon a few weeks ago, and they had the little mini quarter machine cabinets. You remember those? I don't know if
Yes.
you saw that or not, but I went in there and I played the
Yes.
little mini. It's in our video, by the way. You guys could go check that out on youtube.com/, the domain GPCE. Our PopCon videos out, and I actually put the high score on that machine, that little bitty machine. I think I got
Hell
like over
yeah.
100,000 points on it. I was like, I'll put it up there for someone to have a challenge to try to get. But that's one of those games, man. There's that game. If we're gonna talk arcade games, there's that game. There's without a doubt. Um, this is like another top five
Mhm.
arcade game of all time is the Ninja Turtles game. You
Yes.
know, that game is one that I go back to. Actually, I have the Cowabunga collection on PlayStation,
Oh
and
yeah.
I just went through the entire game in like one setting a few nights ago. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and if I can
Just
beat
run
it.
through. Hell yeah.
And
Uh,
that's a really good one. Yeah.
at
Oh
my
yeah.
office job, I had a
Mm.
little teeny tiny arcade cabinet. It was one of those world's tiniest thing. There it is. I'm looking at it right now. I say there it is, like you can see, like I'm pointing at it.
Right,
But
right.
it's a little teeny tiny arcade shelf, and it's actually got a joystick and buttons on it. And when I was bored, you could turn it on and you could play the first level of the game. You have to be Donatello, but I mean, whatever. But it was pretty neat that you can actually go through and play a level of the game. I'll have to pocket it next time we hang out and I'll
Oh
show
yeah.
you. But
Oh
it's pretty
yeah.
neat.
Oh yeah. But that's another one,
Mhm.
if we're gonna get into arcades.
Arcade games, yeah, because I've got
That's
a
another
favorite
one.
arcade game that I
That's a
can
good
tell after
one.
you tell yours. Yeah.
Um, I would also say, as far as arcade games go, this is another one that I don't ever really talk about that I really
Mhm.
enjoy is Pole Position. The old
That is a
arcade
fun
racing
one.
game. That's a
Yeah.
real fun one. That's a real fun one. It's got some
Yes.
really. It's just I think it's like the music for me.
Okay.
Um, that really it was always like when you go into an arcade, and we really haven't had a actual episode about arcades, which I think we should talk about. We should do a
Oh
whole
yeah, that should definitely be an
episode.
episode for sure.
Um, which by the way, we did do an episode of Dragon Cast with our friends from Galaga, which we need to get them back on, Mark and Jordan and stuff. We had them on the show, but
Nice.
um, it was I think what it was for me about arcades in general was when you'd go in, it was all the noises, it was all the sounds of all the machines running, and when you go in, you already knew which ones you were going to hear, so you got used to it.
Mhm.
And then you'd walk in and you're like, wait, what's that one? Like you knew there was a new machine, not because you saw it, because you heard it. Because you were so used to if you go to your like local arcade enough,
Yeah.
you knew all the sounds of the machines. And then you'd walk in, you'd go, well, I don't hear Mortal Kombat running, so Mortal Kombat must be
Right.
down. And you go, and of course it's down. So you already knew right away. Walk in, you hear Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat,
Hmm.
Galaga, Pac-Man, pole position, yada yada. And then you go in and you hear something new. You're like, oh, what's that? That's a new sound. That's a new sound. I don't know. I don't,
A new
that's
sound.
it's kind of the aesthetic of arcades back then. You knew there was a new game because you heard a sound you hadn't heard before.
Hmm.
Right. And I remember one of my other favorite, this is probably a real top arcade game for me. And I don't see it anymore because I don't know if it's just rare. And arcades really are kind of not, they're not at all what they used to be, right? So I remember walking into my Showbiz Pizza, the one on East Washington Street in Indy.
Okay.
Um, and immediately to the right of the door, there was that little lobby you'd walk into, and they had to like check you and your kids into the place.
Okay. Yeah. The little
It was,
check-in area.
right, it was right next to a window. I mean, I'm even just picturing this in my mind. I could see it like right now from if I was there.
Mm.
Was Road Blasters. It's Road
Okay.
Blasters. If you don't know what Road Blasters is, it's a
I
fucking
don't.
fun ass game. It's a sit down arcade cabinet.
All right.
And that was one of the first, probably the first sit down arcade like racing game.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Outside of pole position. I think it was like right next to pole position. Those two were my first two experiences as a kid with like sit down racing games.
Hmm.
And this is long before we had Cruising USA and all those games. Crazy Taxi, which is another
Right.
excellent arcade game, and a great console game on the Dreamcast as well. But
Yeah.
Road Blasters is a lot of fun. If you don't know what Road Blasters is it's not a racing game. It is a shooting game.
Oh, I was
You're
gonna
in a,
ask. Yeah.
you're in a car, and the car kind of looks like Knight Rider, like Kit
Okay. Didn't.
from Knight Rider, and
Didn't.
all the music
Didn't.
is badass. And
Okay.
you shoot these like orbs out of the top out of your car, and
Right.
as you're playing, each level you have so many other cars you have to kill or to destroy, and it kind of reminds me of Spy Hunter, but like from a behind the car point of view instead of like Spy Hunter is a top down uh game. This is kind of the same
Okay.
concept, but this is behind the car, the classic uh, uh, third person behind the car view of like a racing game you kind of expect.
Yeah.
And throughout the game, you get upgrades that like get dropped on your car from like a helicopter, and one of them is like a gun. And it drops down, and you have to collect them, and you have to time it with the thing. That is a game that's so much fun. And I remember like dropping so many quarter or tokens when I go to like Showbiz or Chuck E. Cheese, whatever. When I go there, that was my top game. Was that one and
Hell
TMNT.
yeah.
But those two games, those three games, and Pole Position were a lot of fun.
Pole position.
Those are some old ones. Unfortunately, I can't go back to like I could, but for me, going back to Pole Position and going back to Road Blasters on like a computer is just not this. It's
Not the same. There, there
you
was something
can't do.
special about sitting
Yeah,
inside an arcade cabinet
yeah.
and
It
actually
loses its
hitting the
it
gas
loses
and turning the wheel.
dude.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It loses its thing. Like I remember I went to an arcade one time, and I didn't. There was an old arcade I went to in some fucking like tiny ass bumfuck town here in Indiana that had an arcade, and it was a small arcade, and they had a Road Blasters because I heard the sound right. I remember I said earlier you hear the sounds, you know what games are there, and I heard the
Mhm.
sound. I was like, oh shit, they got a Road Blasters. I haven't sat in a Road Blasters machine in like God, 10 fucking or 20 fucking years. That was the day when I discovered that Road Blasters has a stand-up version of the machine
What?
where it's got the wheel and the pedals all like on a cabinet front, like a traditional
Okay.
cabinet. And I was like, I played it, and I was like, this is not
It's not
Sam.
the same. It's
I don't know.
unnecessary and
It's just
unneeded.
like Pole Position has a stand-up arcade machine.
Oh,
There's somewhere in Indy that has a stand-up Pole Position where it's the same thing. It's a giant fucking steering wheel and pedals and your shifter, and you're standing up. And I'm like, it's not how racing
that's
games are supposed to
awful.
be. You
That's
don't stand
terrible.
up playing racing. So for me, I can't go back and play like Road Blasters and Pole Position because if I wanted to play
Mhm.
those games, they'd have to be the aesthetic that I know them from.
Yeah.
Um, what are some other games for you that you like to kind of go back to?
So every time I go to the arcade to keep up with the theme, if they
Uh,
have it, I've got to sink quarters in the fucking Dig Dug. What?
ooh,
Yes,
okay,
Dig Dug is that game for me. It's not as
okay,
deep with me as Galaga with you. Like
yeah,
I've had it
yeah.
on a couple of phones. I remember my crappy
Mm,
little AT&T flip phone that I had back in college. I
yeah.
paid $2.99 for Dig Dug on it, and I loved that shit.
Fuck yeah.
Um,
Okay,
oh yeah, Dig Dug is that game
okay.
for me. I love playing Dig Dug. I know I've got it somewhere on my PlayStation, and it's definitely on my Switch, I'm sure. It's just one of those things that I I love playing Dig Dug, and if I can and will, I
Yeah.
will. Um, it's a game that I played with a best friend of mine when I was a little kid, and we'd go to the arcade and sink quarters into it and play that game, and it's
Hell
a
yeah.
fun game, you know. Um, I love cursing at the little yellow guys or the red guys and the green dragons, whatever. Fuck you, dude. But it's just a fun, silly game that I like to play that makes me feel good. So I always think some quarters into that. But another arcade game that I love playing is you brought up the Ninja Turtles game. Well, did you know that the Simpsons game was literally just a Ninja Turtle, another, the next game that was being developed, and then they changed the licensing real quick at the last second?
No.
Yeah, a whole lot of the Simpsons games was originally a Ninja Turtles game. It was a whole thing. In fact, I said all that stuff like I absolutely know, and now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, what the fuck did I read the other day? It doesn't matter, had sex. Um, the Simpsons game is fun. The Simpsons game is awesome. The 4 player one. Have you beaten it before?
Oh yeah, I played the stand
Okay,
up run.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was the
you
other
know
one I
that
was
it
gonna
gets
say.
crazy. It's one of those games that like
Hmm.
it's
Oh,
it's
I do.
definitely gonna suck some quarters from your pocket
Oh yeah,
because the bosses are hard, the enemies are hard. It's the right amount of like this is a licensed game and this is a fun challenging game at the same time. Um that
oh yeah,
Simpsons arcade game bucks. There was a brief period of time that you could get it on the PlayStation Network store, but because of some licensing rights and issue re-ups and shit like that, it's been
yeah,
taken off there forever
yeah.
and you can't play it anymore. But man,
Right. I get
that
it.
was a good time.
Yeah.
There's an Avengers game. There's a 4 players Avengers game. That is another arcade game style game that I love playing, as well as the X-Men game. Um, I love multiplayer beat 'em ups. Even
Yeah.
more fun when they're the ones that its characters I already love, and I don't have to be like, yeah, I'm gonna be this guy. I don't know what the fuck he is. Um, but those are my arcade games. Um,
Oh
what
yeah.
about some like home console retro games? Like I like Mega
Yeah.
Man. I
Yeah.
fucking
You
love
like what
Mega
now?
Man, dude.
Mega
Mega
Man?
Man.
Mega Man 2 specifically for me.
Mega Man 2 specifically. Um,
Yeah. I think
what?
two is the best one.
Oh yeah.
But
No,
that's
when I say
yeah.
recently, like it's not recently, but it was like when the Nintendo Classic came out. You remember the NES Classic, and
Yeah, I have
everybody
one.
wanted it.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
one.
a
Yeah.
buddy of mine got one, and we were all just kind of over checking it out, like, oh hey, cool, yeah, yeah, it's a thing. Um, dude, to everyone's shock and awe, just picked up Mega Man 2 and just started blasting through it and kicking
Decimating it.
everyone's
Yeah,
ass.
that's how I feel about that. Oh yeah.
And
Just beat
yeah,
the
and
shit out
dude's
of
like, I've never seen anyone do that with Mega Man before. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Me and Mega Man, we go way back.
it.
Me and Mega Man did cocaine in the Rancho Bravo bathroom. I don't know. Just kidding. To disclaimer, I've never done
Yeah,
cocaine, but
Mega Man 2,
Mega Man 2
yeah,
is
for
great.
sure is where it's at. Mega Man 2 fucks. Um,
Yes, Mega Man 2 does. It does, in fact, fucks.
I would
I love Mega
say,
Man 2.
God, oh yeah, the classic Super Mario Bros. 3. What is there not to like about that?
Yeah,
Um, that's
fucking
another
love
game
Super Mario Brothers 3 on the
that is
NES.
a that
That
is
was
a
another great one.
that was one of my holy grail complete in box items to have, and I have it.
Nice.
And it's a very crisp looking version. I got real lucky about that too because we went to PopCon last year
Hmm.
and this guy was selling like all these games and that were still in the box. And this guy had a yes, I looked at the price and I was like, "Are you like really selling it for this cheap? Like this is cheap." And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." So I looked at it and it was good. And he had like 2 copies. And I was like, "Oh well, we've got the book and other things in the other box." And he just looked at me. He goes, "Dude, just put it all together, and I'll sell it to you for the same price." So I literally took
Okay.
like what I needed from the other game, completed it with the other copy, and he still sold to me for the cheap price. So I was like, "This is kind of like a very rare moment, like to get to do that." And then,
Yeah.
so I got so Mario Bros. 3, man, is I still think it's one of the best uh, games on the Nintendo.
Oh
Period.
yeah. I absolutely
Um,
agree.
it's so much fun. I loved getting the warp whistles and trying to find all the secrets and shit.
Yes.
Um, it's such top tier Mario gameplay. It's a lot of fun. I remember just
Yeah.
totally playing the hell out of it when I was a kid. When I got that. As far as Mario games go, another game that I really love, and I think they delisted it from being
Oh
bought,
no. Oh
was
no.
DuckTales for the NES.
Woo. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
the NES DuckTales game. That was a lot of fun too. I used to love playing that and Rescue
Uh,
Rangers.
I want to say they sold it as a pack. It's like the '90s Saturday morning cartoon pack is what it's called, or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
terrible if it was delisted though.
yeah. I think it got delisted. So that was another one that I had a ton of fun with. Um, that was a good one. Um, thinking of other NES. Old NES games.
I
Metroid's a
mean,
good one.
the original
Um,
Zelda. I played an
oh
autistic
yeah,
amount of the original
man.
Zelda. Um,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I guess
honestly,
I thought
Zelda
of that.
2. A lot
Mhm.
of people hate on Zelda 2 because it's a different game, but I fucking loved Zelda 2. Um,
Zelda 2.
yeah,
Wow,
the
really?
side scrolling shit. Yeah, man, that was
Zelda
fun.
2.
Zelda 2 was my
That's all
shit.
right.
I've played that a couple times.
Interesting.
After being a kid, it was one of those things where I in college it was like, oh, cool, we found an NES that actually works, you know, and then pieced games together here and there, and I finally found Zelda 2 at a yard sale, and it
Yeah.
was one of those things where I sat in the basement all weekend just
Right, right.
playing Zelda 2. I fucking love Zelda 2.
That cracks me up.
Um, so did now let me ask you this. We've talked about the NES. Did you have a Sega Genesis at all?
Dude, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
My favorite game that anytime that there's the Sonic Master Packs and all this shit that they keep
yes.
selling us over and over again,
Yeah.
Altered Beast. Every time Altered Beast. I
Oh,
fucking love
yeah.
Altered
Oh,
Beast.
dude. Altered
Yes.
Beast.
That is a game that I keep going back
Yes.
to, and I love it every time, as infuriating as it is. Like, I know I'm not ever going to actually beat the game. Like, there's been a couple times where I've sat down in emulators and been like, okay, I'm going to do this. I've
Yeah.
got a 6 pack of beer. I've got a couple of rolled joints. I've got no time to do but kill it. Let's play Altered Beast. That type of shit. But that was like way back in the day, so
Oh, yeah.
it's I don't expect to ever beat the game ever again, and I'm okay with that. That is a
That's
tough game. That is a tough game, but I love it.
yeah. No, Altered Beast is fantastic. That's a fun ass
Yeah.
game. And
Yeah.
the whole the music and the sound and
Yeah,
yeah.
dude. Everything. I guess there is an
The
arcade version
sinister
of Altered
fucking
Beast that
voice.
I've never played.
There is an arcade version. It's fun. I played it.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard that it's a lot better production value. They had
It
to
is much
they
better.
lost a lot of value in the
Much
port to
better. Yeah, the
Sega. Yeah,
port
but
that was one of those that like the port was okay, but the arcade version is where it hits.
I would love to. Yeah.
But like you, all I knew was the home console version because I had that too on Sega.
Oh yeah,
Um, that was a good one.
that one
Another
got a lot of
great
play for me.
Sega game was we can't not talk. We'd be kind of amiss to not talk about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I think I've always kind of been a little bit more of a Sonic guy than I am a Mario guy. Um, Not that Mario games are bad, but I think for me the Sonic the Hedgehog games were great. Sonic 2 in particular was good. Um, Sonic and Knuckles. I thought that was cool too, by the way. Sonic and Knuckles, dude, being able to fucking like put the other games on a cart
Oh yeah.
was just
Oh
the
yeah.
wildest
That
thing
was
going.
fucking dope. That's
That was
something that I wish we could still do. Yeah.
man, that shit's kind of fun.
I know.
Uh,
I unfortunately don't even have a Sega Genesis anymore to go back and play
I don't
some of those
either.
games. So it's like,
I don't
yeah,
either.
Sonic and Knuckles is lost to me forever. It's like, fuck.
Um, the one game in particular that stands out for me, that was one of the most fun games for me I have gone back to
Yeah.
from time to time via like emulation and stuff, is Gunstar Heroes.
Oh yeah.
Have you played that?
No, personally, no.
Ooh, you're missing out. I would say it's hands down the best two-player co-op game on the Genesis, without a doubt. Absolutely the best.
Okay.
You can co-op the entire game front to back.
Oh, that's dope.
So Gunstar Heroes is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up game,
Okay.
but it's shoot 'em up not like when you're not like in a ship, but it's like two-player, like you're an actual person, you're a character.
Like Contra style.
Yes, that's an excellent comparison.
Okay.
And they're like these different like dude it's super stupid action packed like there's like levels where you're like fucking on like crane and shit and you're like this is it's a lot of fun and
Okay, hell yeah.
one of the boss battles is like he's on this they always had some crazy big boss battles too
Mhm.
and one of the boss battles is like this giant like monopoly board and you have to hit these dice and like every move is like a different scenario you have to fight. It's pretty cool. You should play it. Like
No, yeah, it's
it's
one of those ones that I've
real.
heard before. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's on like
but
the
I've
the
never played
Sega
it.
Classic, the
I'm
little
sure
Sega
it is.
Classic
Yeah,
they did, because it's a banger game. But
yeah.
that one was top notch. Um, Sega, man, God, Sega, dude, Sega. Oh, Aladdin, Disney's Aladdin. I can't not talk about the Aladdin game.
Man, you're
That
telling
game,
me.
that game. It's my favorite Disney movie,
Okay.
and that was a game that I first played on the Super Nintendo. But I think the Sega Genesis version was the better version.
As I say, that was back when they made a completely different game for each console.
Yeah, remember like they put blood in the Sega Genesis version of Mortal Kombat, but they didn't on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
Because Super
dude.
Nintendo was like the family friendly. We don't want children seeing
Yeah,
blood.
we don't
It
want
was all
blood.
sweat. It was weird sweat, and I'm like, this is not Mortal Kombat.
Awkward. There was a Power Rangers game,
Two totally
and
different Power Rangers games. Yeah,
two completely, and they were just the Power Rangers, the game.
the Super Nintendo
And
version was better.
yeah, dude, they had the same cover and everything, but they were
Yeah,
totally different games, dude.
totally
Like that was
different.
crazy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Although I think in the Sega Genesis game, you got like you can actually use the Zords to fucking like fight. Or was that a beat 'em up version? I think that was a beat 'em up
there
game.
was a beat 'em up game on the Sega Genesis that I also had, and I fucking loved that game too.
But Power Rangers
Um,
the movie is the best. Is I
yeah,
think the best of the Power Rangers video games. Because I have the Sega Genesis. I have the Sega Genesis copy of Power Rangers.
yes, yes, you do. Yeah.
Which that's a good one. Um, they also made one for Sega CD, which I own,
Oh yeah.
and it's a beat 'em up, but it actually has like footage from the show,
Okay. Okay.
which was wild at the time.
That is
Like to
wild.
see. Um, beat 'em ups. Oh man, we could do a whole episode about beat 'em ups. What
That
were
should
some
be
other
its
good
own
ones?
episode because
We
I can
had
talk
like
about fighting
fucking
games and beat 'em ups
we
all
had
fucking
like
day.
Final Fight was a good one. That was a
Yep.
great arcade beat 'em up, by the way.
Oh
That's a
yeah.
two-player one. You could play that with
Some
playing
quarter
friends.
plunkers for sure.
Yeah, and then you had
Double Dragon
River City
Dog.
Ransom was a really great beat
Yep.
'em up on the
Well, and
NES.
that eventually that was the spiritual successor to that was the Scott Pilgrim game.
Yes, Scott Pilgrim game, which is great.
Hmm. Oh
You
man, that was
had
a
oh, how can we not talk about Streets of Rage, dude? Sega? Streets of
yeah.
Rage, man. Those games
That
fucking ruled, dude. All three
that
of
is
them.
one that I
Good.
find myself going back to quite a bit. It's like, oh man, I'll play some Street Golden Axe. That is another one on the Sega Genesis
Uh,
collections that I am always like,
yeah.
I'll fuck
Golden
around with
Axe.
Golden Axe for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Golden Axe is a good little fuck around game. You can kind
Yes.
of mess around in that for a little bit. Yeah, Gold.
Yes.
Dude.
Golden Axe.
Um, let's talk about this is one that I love playing like different iterations of because they've always been fun. But Mario Kart.
Oh, dude, yeah. My favorite still and always will be Super Mario Kart for the Super
Yeah,
Nintendo.
a lot of people now don't realize that started on Super Nintendo
Yeah.
because there's so many
Back in my
3D
day, it
games
was
of that.
2D, 3D.
Back in my day, it wasn't full 3D.
2D, 3D. Yeah.
Right?
Dude,
Yeah.
uh because we were talking about at the start of the episode um how much I love the Nintendo Switch and how I can just go back and play old Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it, and it was something I wanted to save for like the end of the episode, like bookend it with KOTOR. But so I won't say that. But like one of the other first games I played for sure was definitely
Yeah.
Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo. I was just like, oh hell yeah, Mario Kart, and I went through and did a couple races that
Mhm.
day,
Mhm.
like the first time I got a full charge off of my Nintendo Switch. That was pretty cool. I loved playing that game. Uh, Another game. So Nintendo dropped Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga around Christmas last
Mhm.
year or the year before. I want to say it was the year before.
Mhm.
And dude, talk about a game that they did. No, it was Wario 4 right around Christmas that I was so excited for. Rachel was like, "Okay, well, do you want any of your actual presents?" I was like, "Fuck you, scrub! I got Wario 4." Um, just jokingly, but man, Wario 4 was great. So was Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. And the fact that I can just go play those on the Switch now instead of, having to buy all this equipment, I fucking love it. Um, I feel like I don't know how much the price is, but it's worth it to pay the yearly price to go back and just play this whole complete, different multiple console selection of games you can play through Nintendo.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so I'm pretty sure the other Mario Karts are on there, but I only have eyes for the Super Mario Kart. What
yeah,
about you?
yeah. I think that's my Mario Kart too. Is
Hmm.
Super Mario Kart because
Super.
I don't know.
I even
It
got
was
the
simple,
Nintendo
simpler
64
times.
controller. Yeah.
We had much simpler times back then,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and just I mean, for me, it's I always loved those Mario Kart games, man. Like I
Mhm.
think another one that was fun was oh man, Super Nintendo was a hell of a console too.
Right.
See, like that's what's so crazy is we'll take a second. I don't know if here's what bothers me about the gaming industry for a second
Mhm.
is this is me putting my old man hat on. I know people say this all the time about different things. And I know that our parents would say, I don't think that music's going to be as good now as it was then. I, right? But now I understand that. As someone who's in their 40s, I understand that now with video games.
I'm not gonna lie. I hate a lot of the fucking current music I hear. So I feel you. I get you. I'm
Sure.
down with this one.
So,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. So I don't think that when I turn old and gray, I am going to reminisce in the video game scene anyway. I don't think I'm going to reminisce as much about the current stuff now as it gets old
Mhm.
as I am always going to reminisce about the things that we had when we were younger. Because I
No.
don't
Yeah.
feel that what we have had released in the industry, maybe in the last 10 years or so, that's a lot of gaming,
Oh yeah.
is nowhere near is going to be nowhere near as iconic or memorable as what we grew up playing. Like, and don't get me
Uh,
wrong, like I think
yeah.
I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is a banger of a game. I think that those
But
games are
it's a
great.
sequel to a game that I played in middle school.
But I'll put it this way. Let me rephrase that because I probably piss off a bunch of
Well,
people who are
third
young.
sequel.
I think that there are there is way less in the buffet of video games that will stand the test of time from this last 10 years than what we got. Like I think if you were to have two buffets of video games and you got your one on the left that's
I
all the games from the 80s
Yeah.
and 90s, and then you have all the games from the last 10 years, maybe we'll say 2010 to now, you're
Yeah.
going to eat good and probably eat more and stuff yourself in the first buffet than you would the second one. Not that they're one is bad, but I think that the games we've had pre, I don't know, we'll say pre 2010
Right.
are always going to be greater than or be more or will stand the test of time longer than what we've had now. And it's not, and there's more to choose from. That's what I'm kind of getting at.
It's because
I
there's more to
feel,
choose from. Yeah.
I
It's
feel,
kind of
yeah,
like that thing where the Who Shot JR episode of Dallas was the
yeah,
most
yeah,
watched episode of TV of all time. And
yeah,
because of the saturation of the market, no one will ever be able to get that much of a condensation of viewers. It's something that I talked about
right,
so many times in a college course that it's fresh on my mind still to this day. And
yeah,
it's just basically because you can't get there's too much other shit going on.
yeah,
There's people are going to find other stuff before they find you inevitably.
yeah.
So, it's not
I,
like I'm like saying directly thank you for listening to this episode, but like if you ask me nicely, Brian might touch your undercarriage. I don't know.
I
But
just think for me, it's a moment of when back then video games didn't need to be all about how can we get more money from you.
yeah, dude.
It felt like a wholesome passion project.
Hmm.
It felt like a wholesome, good era of developers really, or well, I'm not going to say the developers aren't passionate about it now, 'cause they certainly are.
Right.
We'll talk about the companies, the corporate. I don't feel back then that corporations were as greedy then as they are now.
Yeah.
Whereas it felt like, when they weren't able to discover microtransactions and battle passes and everything, and I felt like they had to really lean on the games being great to make money.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Do you kind of, are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Well, yeah, because like the
You know,
game had to be good because that was the only thing that
that's all
people
they
got.
had.
There was
That's
no
all you
path.
had.
Yeah, exactly.
Had
So,
no, had
you
no
weren't worried about a game not working when you got it. That wasn't a fucking thing when we were growing up,
Yeah,
my
and
dude.
even if it didn't work, it just kind of made the game more fun with some of the glitches and things.
Yeah.
You just kind of like, all right. But I feel that back then, that's why I'm so fond of it back then. And I know people will say, well, you were a kid too. Everything's cooler when you're a kid. It's
Right.
true. But like, it doesn't take away the fact that like back then, they had to make a completely whole ass game because as you said, that's all they had. Like when you bought Earthbound
Yeah.
or when you bought Super Metroid or even when you got packed in. Dude, I miss pack-in games. Look what we got back then. We got fucking Super Mario World was packed in. A whole
Yes.
ass real game was packed in.
A great game.
Nintendo don't do that shit no more.
No.
I mean, the last time it did was with Wii Sports, which even Reggie Fils-Aimé had to practically beg the guys in Japan. Because I don't know if you heard that story or not, but they were originally going to sell Wii Sports as a whole separate game. It was not going to come with the Wii. And Reggie was like,
Oh,
"No, you need to like have a game to come with this thing." And he had to probably beg them to do it. They did it, and it worked. And now Nintendo's like, and this is why I get so jaded about Nintendo. I'm at the point now where I'm about to sell all my Nintendo shit. Like I don't even really play it anymore. My Switch just sits there. Like it
it's
has.
not playing KOTOR, Brian.
It really just sits there. I have KOTOR. I don't need to play it on the handheld.
Play KOTOR.
But no, but I just but it just sits there. It bores and
Yeah.
it collects dust. And for me, it's like that company, a lot of these games we talked about are Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And they were great because they didn't have at the time the ability to half-ass make a game and then update it later.
Yeah. It just
They
wasn't an
actually had
option.
to give you a complete game. It just kind of makes you wonder, like, what if back then they could get away with updating a game? How bad would the quality of the games be back then?
Yeah.
20, right? And now you see it, right? Where
Oh yeah.
now games are just like you're lucky if a game works when you buy it on day one.
Yeah. It's like
You're
fuck it, we'll
lucky.
patch it later.
Yeah, although it's kind of like they're sending you a chunk of a game and they'll say, "Oh, we'll
Hmm.
we'll fix the broken pieces later." And it's like it's just like with fucking like WWE 2K25 is one of my most played games right now. I almost have 200 hours in this game. And they brought out
Yeah.
the first DLC pack. They still don't even have one of the characters for.
They finally announced they're replacing it with Grande Americano.
Yeah, but that's not until September.
Right. Like what the fuck?
And it's like people bought that shit. Why did you wait? You had a plethora of like dudes to choose from. You could have put Jelly Roll in there. I don't give a fuck. Like, but
Hmm.
somebody, and that's what I'm talking about. Is now I feel the industry is lazier for it and wanting to make more money from you.
I'm
They
just saying that
feel
I'm glad that we got him in this game.
it's like
You know.
they just, oh yeah, I am too. But it feels like the industry can now their crutch is
Hmm.
DLC and microtransactions. And they're all over the place now. Every game, for the most part, has them. Almost
Oh
every
yeah.
game
It's ridiculous.
is littered with them. All the games we have mentioned so far don't have them,
Hmm.
and they're banging games.
It's absolutely fucking true.
They're fucking great ass games. They still stand the test of time.
Hmm.
And for me, that's kind of my whole point earlier.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was trying to get off my chest was how good are these games? Are these games that are coming out now within the last, we'll say 5-10 years? Are they going to stand the test of time like the games we've mentioned now, or are they just going to get lost in the sauce?
Right.
Right? I mean, you're going to have like, okay, yeah, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, right? Those games are going to
Yeah.
be around. Your Grand Theft Auto. your you know Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. Which, by the way,
But
speaking of GTA, you know, we're supposed to be getting GTA 6 next May. Now, I will tell you this, that is a game I'm absolutely concerned about
yeah,
because it's coming out in this era.
yeah,
If we had got GTA 6 when we should have got GTA 6, which was like 10 years ago, probably wouldn't feel too bad about it. But
yeah.
now it's like the longer we wait for this thing, I'm just like, oh shit, what's the price going to be? What's the because they're already talking about how this thing could they're saying they could get away with selling it for $100.
Mhm.
What's the how many microtransactions is going to be in it? You know, and it's just
Yeah,
it
probably
just
a lot, my dude. Probably a
and
lot.
it makes me sad because we're reminiscing about all these great games and it just makes me sad for the current state of the industry because we had a time where and I'm so glad that we were not born into this decade because
Hmm.
right we got to experience a there's two sides of this video game industry coin. A side of the history. There's a side where games were just great and people were happy and the industry was
Yes.
thriving and we didn't feel that the industry was greedy and we were just everybody was uppity about playing video games. Now it's kind of like doom and gloom. People get fired. Companies are getting studios getting closed. Developers are
Yeah.
having a hell of a time finding jobs.
Yeah.
It's just it's sad. It's like a dark cloud hanging over the industry right now. And back then, we talk about all these things. You know, I know there are people out there who say that they play this shit more than they play the current stuff.
I mean,
And
yeah.
I don't think current gaming is. I think there are some gems in there, but now it feels overwhelming too, doesn't it?
I
And
mean, it really does.
it feels like there's
Um,
too much stuff coming out. You got to keep up with.
I will just say for multiple reasons, I didn't get Dead Rising remaster yet.
Well,
Is the way that I'll phrase it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. And
yeah,
it's like where we're at right now. I kind of feel like I'm waiting for the first time it goes on sale to get it because I mean it's like $65 for the deluxe edition. Honestly, that's what I want. But
yeah.
it's like,
Good God,
man, this is a game that I
it's a
literally already
remake.
have on my hard drive. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing too is
Hmm.
that goes to show you how good the old games were. They have to bring those
Hmm.
back again.
They are.
And to
They're bringing them
me, it
back.
kind of is just like, it's like you guys don't have anything else that you can make now. You gotta remake things. We,
Yeah.
I don't know. To
Like how many
me, it's
times they fucking remade Last of Us?
there's oh, don't get me started, dude.
I'm
There's
I'm
just
cur-
so many
I'm not gonna.
there's so many things, and I know we haven't even scratched the surface of all the games that we love going back to. Like I know one
Mhm.
for me, I was going to mention because you had mentioned KOTOR first, and that's BioWare. Mass
Yeah.
Effect; those games are great.
Those games are great. Yeah, no,
The
we were
three
gonna talk
games.
about Mass Effect, but that can be a
Mass
sequel
Effect
episode.
is amazing.
Collection.
That is a sci-fi pick RPG
Hmm.
series where all of your decisions carry over from one game to the next.
Yeah.
Why see? I just wonder why is nobody making shit like that anymore?
Hmm.
Why are we not making epic like sequel games like that have your choices carry over? We had the Telltale Walking Dead games.
Yeah.
That was innovative.
That was a fun concept, my dude.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying like the last 10 years has been totally shitty and shit, but it feels like I have to cherry pick more from this last 10 years. And because you just heard us, we were just like bang, 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 this game, this game. I mean, there's so much. There was so much,
Yeah.
dude.
I should
So
have made a tangible list, but I didn't.
don't know how
Um,
good we had it until we don't have it good anymore.
mhm.
Like
Well,
that, you know?
and that's
Yeah,
what I wanted to bookend myself with too. Is that
yeah,
I said that I got the Switch, and the first thing I did was I opened it up. I did, set up the online thing, and I played Mario Kart. But immediately the next thing I did from start to finish, because it was I didn't have work. It was in the middle of a day off or whatever. And I sat there and went back and played the Game Boy Mario Land 2, the 6 coins.
oh yeah. We had a
Dude,
conversation about that not long ago. Yeah,
yes, that game was a fucking banger. And honestly, I feel like I could go back and play it again. Like that might be the little game that I go back and do while we're on vacation. I'll take my Switch and just run through Mario Land 2 again because fuck it, it makes me feel good, you know?
No, I get it. You're absolutely right. I mean, there's just so many things that we got
Mhm.
when we got into gaming, and now it's just that whole two buffet thing. Like I'm telling you, like last 10 years, you're gonna, you know, they're gonna give you a plate full of food, but only certain plate things on the plate are gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Whereas I can go back and I feel like I have a way more extensive catalog of older games
Yes.
than I do most modern games. So for me, it's because now they just want to fucking make everything a live service game, like fucking goddamn the Justice
Suicide
League
Squad.
fucking game, the Suicide Squad game. Like they just want to do that.
Yeah.
Like I don't stop.
They
I
ruined
wish
a good game, man. That
yeah,
I wish people would believe us that that game was fun before it actually came out.
it was fun before they ruined it.
Yeah.
They put all the bullshit in it.
Uh,
I want that version. Can we get like a Zack Snyder cut of like
the
the real
Suicide
Suicide
game,
Squad
yeah.
game?
The
Like, can we
non-bullshit
just get the
edition.
can we get the the no BS edition where it's just a
Yes.
fun multiplayer game without all of the dumb, like if they had made that game like Borderlands where it was all loot
Yeah.
and you just play with your friends and there's no live service elements to it, that'd been fun.
Yeah. That would have been
And
great.
but I bought that game. I never even finished it. I was like, this sucks. Like I hate that. That would be a
Yeah.
good episode. Games we've bought that we didn't finish.
Oh yeah, dude.
That you regret spending
Gollum.
money. That you
Gollum.
regret spending money on. Yeah, Gollum. See, and you know what's funny about that? When we do that episode, I bet that all those games are going to come from the last 10 years, and hardly any of them are going to come from like back then. Because I can
I
already
can think of one that would, but I'll save it for that episode.
I can think of several right now that absolutely come from like the last 10 years of gaming as opposed to like 30 years ago, like the 90s. And I can't recall a game that I ever got that even if I wasn't a kid and I was an adult and I bought my own with my own money, I can't recall most games from like 30 years ago that I would be like, yeah, if I had bought that myself, I wouldn't regret it. Like now,
Yeah.
there's just tons of shit that I've paid for. I'm like, this is stupid as shit. Yeah, maybe we'll do that for our next episode. Is we'll just talk about like all the games we bought that we wish you hadn't bought that were just terrible, or games that were, or just bad games. A whole episode about shitty games. Maybe we'll do that. But guys, that's all the time we got today for this episode of The Next Level. We talked all about our favorite games that we love going back to from the past. And we are on Spotify and we are on Good Pods where you guys can leave comments. Let us know what are some of your favorite old games you like going back to. Also, if you're listening to us on YouTube, our episodes are also now on YouTube.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments there as well. What are some of your favorite old games that you like going back to? Let us know. And no matter where you listen to us from, we appreciate you all the same. And appreciate Josh for joining me on this episode. And
as always, Brian.
Yes, sir. It's always a fun time when we get together and talk about things we love. And we're probably gonna talk about things we hate next week. So which can also be a fun topic too. So but anyway, thanks so much for checking us out. And as always, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Peace.